Tokyo, capital city of Japan and a financial giant, a city at the forefront of technological advancement, a metropolis with a population of over 12 million, where design has to be functional above all else. Bustling, lively and vibrant, it is a city that never sleeps and barely even pauses for breath. A place where past and future exist side by side, with the look of the future overlaying ancient traditions, where high-tech meets radical innovation to produce some of the most advanced creations in the world. Based in the energetic Roppongi district of Tokyo is Konami, a company at the vanguard of the digital entertainment industry and responsible for a number of the most respected and celebrated titles in the world of gaming. Every one of Konami's groundbreaking titles is brought to life here at the company's headquarters, which houses everything from state-of-the-art sound studios and motion capture technologies to research and development departments all in one building. Shingo Seabass Takatsuka is the senior producer and programmer for the company's immensely popular Pro Evolution Soccer series, regarded by many as the greatest football simulations ever conceived.
It was luck that gave me the opportunity to start making football video games. I didn't just decide to do it. I was simply assigned to that job. But I'm very grateful that it led to the opportunity to make football games. I have two roles. I'm the producer for the PES series, and I'm a programmer working on the AI and the game mechanics.
Aki Saito is the head of Konami's global division and works closely with the development team in Japan, while also playing a central role in bringing PES to Europe each year.
As a Japanese developer and as a Japanese, we're not a very high sophisticated football country or people yet. I think that's one of the reasons why we can produce PES and almost simulate what European people think is like real football. The reason why I say that is because we observe not just one match or one country or one league. We love to watch Italian league, the Premiership, the Liga Española. We would like to watch a lot of matches, and we see all these tiny differences. Japanese people are really, I think, my understanding is very good in observing and trying to copy things and making it better. I think we actually do that. We observe a lot of things, not just one location or one football, and try to figure out the essence, the key essence of what makes it football so exciting. So I think that's one reason why we could represent that in the game.
When we first made the game, none of us thought it would keep going for 12 years. So my impression is that it did not so much evolve as just grow every year. When we look back, we feel that we have put out titles that were as good as we intended, but also see plenty of areas where we feel we failed. Particularly in the last 2 or 3 years, we have developed the game up to the limits of console computing power, but have not been satisfied. But I believe that this time, PES 2008 is different.
Of course, the focus before past all of our PES games was the game itself. We actually sacrificed many parts of graphic upgrades because we needed to upgrade the core feature. What makes PES PES was the program and the actual game itself. But now, with the next gen, we can't do this. We have to do everything. We have to upgrade the graphics, and we have to still continue to upgrade the game itself. This has become a massive change in developing our games.
For several years, we have worked to present a more realistic experience of football. What we were aiming for was, of course, to incorporate the feeling that you are really playing football, but also to bring to PES the sense that you are playing a simple game, like those we used to make when we first started developing. This is something we put a lot of work into this time. I'm supervising that side of things. That's what takes the most hard work and time. People tell me when they think it's good enough already, but it doesn't feel right to me. So I spend a lot of time debating with my colleagues to develop the game.
Seabass is very concentrating on his programming. He's checking things. Even if the programmer says this program is done, Seabass checks it, plays it, and says, no, I don't like this part. So he writes the program, rewrites the program.
Due to the vastly increased complexity and diversity of the next generation game consoles, the development team has expanded to include just over 100 people, working on every aspect of the title across all available platforms. In order to be successful, game design in the present day has to be a large-scale collective effort. The PES development team includes dozens of unsung stars. Players might not know that they owe a debt of gratitude to, as a random example, Ipe Neo or Hajime Matsumaru, but they do. As you engage in a little virtual badge kissing after scoring a 35-yard volley, spare a thought for the backroom staff that made it possible.
The team is very humble because they're always thinking about the competitor's product. They're always thinking about their mind and what they want to do. And they're always thinking about the reactions of the users. And they're not satisfied in all three parts. So they are very humble and they are very, very hardworking.
Viewing Pro Evolution Soccer 2008 for the first time, fans of the series will notice the graphical enhancements that make the next generation console versions so very striking to behold. From the overhauled menu system to thousands of new frames of player animation, this is much more than a mere seasonal update. Behind such visual finery, though, lies a radically updated artificial intelligence system that revolutionizes the single-player game.
The game now includes an advanced AI system called Teamvision. Basically, the AI within the game brings alive the unique characteristics of individual teams. It highlights and makes use of the special abilities of each player.
Working alongside Seabass every day is Eiji Suzuki, who supervises the development of the game's artificial intelligence. As he explains, the Teamvision system has a profound effect on the way that AI-controlled players behave.
So, for example, when you are in a match against the AI, when the computer player has taken the ball and executes a pass feint or dodge, Teamvision records that information. The next time that same situation occurs, the computer will make a different choice of move. Another aspect of the Teamvision system is that when the AI has tried and failed to defend against an attacking move, it makes a record of how the player scored. If the player scored directly from the center or from the side, it accumulates that data to detect a potential bias. If there are too many attacks through the middle, for example, it will strengthen its defense at the center by deploying more people there. When the AI is in possession of the ball, Teamvision addresses the dribbling method of individual players, and during defensive situations, it addresses the positioning of people within the team.
In previous versions, the AI would of course change its tactics, but it did not respond to each situation as accurately as it does now. So, in previous versions, when the AI really should have won the game, the player could turn the match around and win in the second half. But now that is less likely to happen. The AI changes its strategies and formations more accurately.
The AI of a game has now enormous power and it's enormous intelligence. There might be a point where a human being might lose to this AI. As a fact, maybe that could come one day. However, in our game, this is really, I think, difficult to happen because we always have to think there is the actual football in the game. Now, the ball itself runs on a totally different AI, meaning the ball could roll this way or that way. And it's not a total AI that controls the ball lives on its own. So there is always rooms or chances or opportunities. So even if the team's CPU's AI gets smarter and smarter, they still have to compete, just like us, towards the ball and how the ball reacts. So I think it will always be very close to a 50-50 chance, I think.
The rules that govern the movement of the ball have improved dramatically for PES 2008. Having discarded false physics systems that offered a very superficial simulation many years ago, the Pro Evolution Soccer development team continues to work tirelessly to improve the realism of its ball movement mechanics.
To tell the truth, there are still many features of the ball's movement that we are not satisfied with. But as a rule, when we are developing the code, I don't want to decide what kind of movement you get in specific situations. So we keep it simple and simulate the ball movement independently, so it takes a long time to develop realistic movement. For example, if the ball is not in a good position, you can't perform a strong shot from range. That's a big selling point for our game. In real football games, you will sometimes see a very special long-range shot. We wanted to limit this kind of shot to the frequency you see in real football.
In PES 2008, we changed a lot of animations. Not just keyframe animations, but the start of the animation or the entire flow of the animation is totally different. We did a lot of new motion capture session, and also, specifically speaking, we added a couple of new bone structures, a little bit more closer to the actual number of a human being. So you'll notice right away when you're dribbling the ball that the motion has changed. Actually, we might be using the same motion, but because we added this bone, you might feel the motion is different. So overall, you'll get a very new feeling when you control your players.
Just as in actual football, Pro Evolution Soccer 2008 is often a battlefield where advocates of the more attractive side of the beautiful game pit their wits against opponents who deem the result to be more important than the performance and prefer a more defensive, competitive style of play. The true beauty of the Pro Evolution Soccer series is that it is equally capable of simulating crowd-pleasing exhibitions of skill and finesse as it is in allowing dismally dour stalemates where players seek to avoid defeat at all costs. Seabass is keen to maintain this uniquely authentic balance.
I'm always thinking about the balance between the beautiful game and the competitive aspect. I don't think I'm leaning towards one or the other, but it begins with competition. If we made PES purely as the beautiful game, you couldn't play it competitively. But if we make it competitive, you can choose to play it as the beautiful game.
Pro Evolution Soccer 2008 is a game designed to cater for all potential playing styles. From fast counter-attacking football to patient build-ups, where a team seeks to dictate the pace of the game. It also allows players to adopt an aggressively physical approach to a match, employing the strength of their players to barge opposing players off the ball, and using tactical fouls to disrupt an opponent's game plan. PES 2008 features a redesigned AI code for its referees, where they now take the exact nature of each potential transgression into account before they call for a foul.
そうですね。審判の判定は
We have altered the judgment of violations considerably since PES 3 and PES 4. Previously, decisions were made simply when players' legs connected with each other, but now we have discarded that kind of digital decision.
デジタルな判断はかなり捨てまして、我々がその試合を実際見てて、これはファールだろう、ファールじゃないだろうっていうのに振り分けて、そして
We've completely reworked the decision-making system so that fouls are decided on the basis of whether you would think it was a foul or not, if you were actually watching the match.
機構をもう全部一から作り変えたっていうことですね。
Though many fans vehemently criticize such behaviour, foul play, cheating and poor refereeing decisions are nonetheless a practically integral part of football. With its referees now more capable of making measured judgments, the Pro Evolution Soccer development team has decided that the time is right to simulate another feature of the real-life game: diving.
ダイビングですね。導入にあたってはですね。
We have been experimenting with diving for 2 to 3 years. However, there is a limit to how inaccurate the referee can be in judging such violations, because otherwise a team could commit fouls and dive all the time without them being called, and this would have a big effect on the game.
試合に与える影響が大きいですから、非常に見極めていたっていうところが大きいですね。で、判定についてですけど、もちろん審判によって
With regard to decisions on diving, some referees may call a violation and others may not. This system can be very important in tight matches, so we hope that players will try and use it. The AI does it too, so you can follow its example to learn how and when to dive.
Another significant step in the evolution of the PES series has been the introduction of a wide variety of camera angles and possible perspectives during matches and replays. The addition of much higher widescreen resolution is a radical step forward that creates the impression that the pitch is somehow larger and more spacious than in previous versions, even though it is actually the same size as before. Having a wider view of the pitch really does make a difference. Pro Evolution Soccer 2008 might be just the excuse certain players have been looking for to invest in a new widescreen TV, but you'll need tactical awareness and a willingness to learn to make the most of the advantages it can offer.
Now, past 2008, it's more about constructing the whole movement or the whole flow of your team. I think a better player, it's a player who can kind of see your allied players, your teammates on the pitch, and always think where he is and where he's moving so that you get a total flow of your attack. Same goes for defending. If you just concentrate on controlling just one player and that's it, you won't be a very good player. You have to think, if I attack and defend here, I still have backup, or maybe I cannot go and jump and attack because there's no one behind me. I'm the last man to defend. So you have to overall think like really, I think, more close to football, or at least have wider vision yourself in order to play more better than your friends.
そうですね。いいプロエボプレイヤーに
To be a good PES player, you need to have not just one single tactic. I think a good player will keep trying to find all the tactics that will suit each individual opponent.
探し続けることができるプレイヤーが、私にとっていいプロエボプレイヤーかなと思います。
When you create or program a game, I think it's very obvious that you cannot 100% trying to get what you have in your mind into the game. I think our team is more capable of having that imagination, watching football, watching TV, watching everything, and what they want to reproduce in the game. They found a kind of a formula or a way to get that vision of their mind into the game. Even if you get into the game, the third part is that the user must feel that through the controller. I think these three steps, we are now a little bit more capable than any other teams that I know of.
There are two elements I like best. I like making the game very much. I like the process of turning my thoughts into reality. Then, once the game is out for sale, I'm very pleased to see users enjoying the game, at events for example. I feel this repays me for my hard work.
What is most enjoyable for me is when users express enjoyment or surprise when they notice a new function that I've created in the AI.
驚いてくれてる時が非常にもうこう快感ですね。なんかこう落とし穴に人を落っことしたようなそんな感じです。
As Seabass always says, he has a huge list of what he wants to do, and he keeps erasing the top, but it's limitless. He always adds new things in the bottom, so the list just stays the same.
It has taken a team of over 100 individuals more than 14 months to complete PES 2008. Yet already, Seabass and his colleagues are planning the next installment of this enormously popular and critically acclaimed series. As the ambitions of Seabass and his team continue to grow, players can rest assured that the fans that expect the most from each Pro Evolution Soccer release are not based in London, Madrid or Rome, but in a development studio in Roppongi, Japan.